So hi, how's everybody doing? We are TeamWolf.com as of 5 minutes ago. We just changed our name because we didn't like our old name. But our project is Plan.It, where you plan it for your planet. So our team members are me, Sammy North. I'm the fearless leader. I was in charge of the front-end functionality and the GUI, the blend spurt. Kerry Edens, the prestige. He was in charge of the local data management and event backend. Kaylin Collins, the ninja, was in charge of the GUI and incentive technologies research that we use in our program. Steven Chauvin, the facilitator, was in charge of the help menu and user education. And Zach Schreiber, the encryptionist, that's not a real word, but it is now. We added it to our dictionary, is in charge of database management. Technology we used, Microsoft.NET 4.0 framework is what we did our whole program in. It's a WPF project. Our language of choice was Microsoft Visual C# and Visual Studio 2010. We also used Blend, Microsoft Expressions Blend 4, where we did a lot of our XAML editing, different things like that. And for our database, we used a MySQL database, and for source control, we used Tortoise SVN. Now, everybody's been in a problem in their life where they can't manage everything that's going on as far as your events or your finals or projects, different things going on, as well as you can't manage who everybody is, what their numbers are, where they live, if you need to send out invitations, things like that. And so what we try to solve with our project is giving you organization through all of that, like in our program. So our accomplishments, we'll just demo it up to show you everything we've accomplished. And I'll turn it over to Zach to start the actual demo.
And I'm just going to kind of run us through what it's like when you first open the program. This is just the main screen. So it just basically opens up. First thing that pops up is the login box. You can type in your username and password. We're going to go ahead and create a new account just to kind of show you guys how everything works. So Sammy's going to click on Register New. And we're going to make a new account called Demo, just for the presentation. And then here you put the password in. It checks to see if they match and things like that. And click Next. And this is the personal information page. So here, you just put all of your stuff. We don't actually require anything, so you can just check, I will do this later, hit submit. And then you can leave all that blank, don't have to worry about it. And then we have a nice little welcome screen, kind of explains what the program's for, thanking the user for choosing to use our program, things like that. And tell them to check out the About section or the Help section. Kind of helps them get used to the program and how to actually use it. So click OK. And then on the menu on the left, we have like all of the things that you can actually do in our program. We're going to go ahead and go over Profile real quick. And from here, we didn't fill anything out, so it's all blank. But if Sammy clicks on Edit, then you can actually fill in things. So if he just fills in a name real quick, I don't really care what he names it. But and you can put a last name too if he wants. And say for the phone number, if he just types in like 225-328. And then accidentally types like an A, and then does some other random numbers. Well, I mean, it knows, and then it gives you a nice little error message, hey, it has to be numerical. So then if he just goes through and fixes that, everything's good again, hit submit. And now that's in the database, and if he was to log out and log back in, it would still be there. But that's all I was going to talk about right now, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over, and we'll talk about add event contact kids.
All right, let's go over contacts. As we are a new user, you don't have any contacts, we're going to add a new contact. So the only thing we require is the first name, if you don't know anything else about your friends or whatever. So let's name him Harry Potter. And we'd add that to the database. And then if you click on Harry Potter in the list, you can view, double click, and there's all the information. You could hit edit, and we could fix the caps on Harry. Submit, and there it is in the list. All right, let's. We're going to go through add event. So type of event, we just have single day events and multiple day events. I'm going to go on vacation over Christmas break, so let's do a multiple day. Let's call it Christmas vacation.
I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, I'm leaving on the 13th we pick out a date, December. Yeah. We're coming back on the 29th. Now let's put a 2-day reminder. And, we're going to Spain, so Christmas in Spain.
Must be nice.
It is added. And as you can see, if you go over to December, it's on the calendar. I'm going to turn it over to Kaylin now.
Alright guys, now that we've shown you a little bit about how it works, we'll go ahead and log into a test user who's been using the software for a while, so we'll go ahead and log into Sammy. Alright, and the first thing you'll notice is the blinking exclamation mark at the bottom, and what that does is it shows you your reminders for events that Sam has already put in because Sam has been using it, and we see that we have an accountant 200 review in one day and a couple other events coming up. So you can close that, or you got your reminders set, and it stops blinking so that it doesn't drive you nuts. So the next thing we'll look at is the upcoming events window. And this will show you the next 5 events, no matter how far in the future they are. It'll be your most, excuse me, the next 5 events that are going to come up. And if you notice, these are 2 totally separate windows. So if you look and you say, we have an accountant 200 review, oh man, I got to go in, look at my notes or something. You can close the main calendar window and that'll stay up. So it kind of helps you with functionality and things like that. And when you log out or log back in, that window closes so you don't have any trouble like using 2 different users. So from here, we'll go ahead and hand it over to Steven, and he'll show you about the help menu.
Okay, so let's log out of this window first. I'm going to show you a little bit of the functionality. If you are logged out and you try and click on any of these buttons, it's going to pop up the login screen so that you can't use anything unless you're a user. But if you wanted to know about the program and you didn't want to become a user yet, you can click on our help screen, and it's going to show you exactly how our program works. So let's say you want us to add an event. Click on Add Events. This links you to another page that describes how to add an event with a nice screenshot that shows you everything step by step. If you scroll into the help window, it'll tell you 2 other pages that you can go to, which are linked at the bottom of the page. So if we go to link number 1, single day event, it's going to show you how to do a single day event. So that everything step by step tells you how to do it. Now our about window. As you can tell, the window is automatically closed and automatically open, so you don't have to close it yourself if you want to switch out of it. This is just who we are, a little bit about ourselves, and then at the very bottom of this is a little bit about our program. But if you wanted to know more, even more in depth, there's a website that Matt has created already that is directly linked to, and if you click on it, it opens it up.
Do we have internet?
Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to pass it over to Zach, and he's going to close out.
Yeah. I'm going to pass it over to Zach and talk about a few more things, I guess. So let's log in, back into my account. We made this account just to show you everything that our program actually does. And as you notice, there's already days on the calendar. You're probably like, well, why didn't he click on those? What does it do? So if we click on like the 16th or the 17th, there was no event on that day. So that shows you there were no past events. But let's say go to the next month. Go ahead and close that. Go to December. But if you click on like the 1st right there, you double click on that, it actually brings up all of the events that were on that day. And you can click on them and look for the date that they were. If it's a multiple day event, it actually shows the date down at the bottom that the whole event goes on. And if it's got any comments, it shows it there, or the name and stuff like that. It also at the top shows the day of the week, the month of the year, the day of the month, of course, all that stuff. But you'll notice from this form, if you want to add another event, there's a plus button up there, and that just opens straight up directly to our add event form. Go ahead and click on single day event, and that already sets our date picker here, so that you don't have to go through the calendar again. But go ahead and cancel that out and close it. If you click on a day in the future with no event, like the 2nd, that actually brings up just the add event form. There was no events on that day, and that is in the future, so why would you need to click on that day unless you're adding an event? So, and then let's go to contacts if you want to close that. Now, this is all the contacts we created just to show you that everything can be displayed. You can click on a few of them if you want. Leroy Jenkins at Microsoft.com, you know, or whatever. But let's go ahead and add one more. Carrie's already talked about this a little bit. Let's make this demo for the first name, and then the last name can be Bob or something like that. Add the contact to the database, and then you'll see that it also has an auto scroll bar in case your contacts list ends up being a ridiculously long list, you know, or anything like that. And they're also tab aligned, which is kind of cool, just so that it looks nice. And then if you want to delete an account like Demo Bob, you can just click delete and instantly it's gone out of the program, the database, everything. So no longer is it there if you were to log out, log back in, or anything like that. Other than that, that pretty much demonstrates everything that our program covers, which is pretty much taking the place of a Rolodex, as well as a planner, as well as, you know, all that all in one, because you probably need to contact people, you know, if you're going to be planning events with them and stuff like that. So, any questions for us or comments?
On your contacts page, I would suggest possibly having a field maybe in that space in case someone has like 100 people that can search by a name, and it would bring you to there in the list.
That's a good idea. We didn't think about that for like a long list, actually, like if it was super long, but we did account for putting it in alphabetical order to help out with that kind of stuff. It's in alphabetical order by the first name, so that kind of covers that a little bit, but I understand what you mean. Anybody else? Yes.
You can go ahead. I've got a couple things.
Probably like a tab feature, so you can like, this is my family, this is my friends, these are people I work with, let's switch between and organize them.